Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maverick Moses. I'm a writing coach, avid reader, and author of the soon-to-be self-published YA dark urban fantasy novel Karma's Children Discovery, the first book of my Karma's Children trilogy series. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and help support my channel. It would really mean a lot to me. I post new videos twice a week, usually on Wednesdays and Fridays, but sometimes I mix up the days if my schedule is pretty crazy. So if you've already subscribed, make sure you've also hit that little bell icon so you can be notified every time I post, no matter what day it is. I've been seeing a lot on Bookstagram and BookTube lately about how Barnes & Noble is having this big blowout sale over Labor Day weekend, so I wanted to get in on the action. So I went to Barnes & Noble and bought a couple of books that I'm going to share with y'all. But before that, I'm going to go into the vlog that I had of my experience in Barnes & Noble. Hi y'all, so I'm outside Barnes & Noble right now. I'm about to go in. I wanted to give you kind of like a heads up. This is the first time I'm doing any kind of like vlogging style, so I apologize in advance if I'm shaky or if I like cut off half of my head or something like that in the camera view because I don't have a reverse mirror thing. But yeah, anyway, I'm about to go into Barnes & Noble to check out their sales for this cool blowout sale, and I'm going to take you along with me. So the first thing that caught my eye was actually this book right here. Oh, it's stuck in the cart. The Merciless series of Last Rites, and it's actually book 4, but the cover of it caught my eye so much. So I looked around for book 1, and this is book 1. It's by Danielle Vega. It's basically about like a coven of witches, I think. But this cover is so cool. I just like want to read this just so I can get to this. And then I also found The Dawn of Spies. This was one of the first things that I saw too. But I don't know. I think compared to all the other things that I've gotten so far, it's kind of mediocre compared to it. So we'll see about that one. I also saw this one and this one because coming up in October I'm going to be doing kind of like horror themed Halloween book TBR list, so I wanted to get some more horror books because I don't really know much about horror books or like read them very much, but I wanted to do that this October. So obviously saw Stephen King, and this was in the 75% off area, so it's only $6.98. And it's just a little novella, and even has like little pictures and stuff in it too, which is really cool and unique for Stephen King. But yeah, so I saw this, and I think I might get it just for the next Halloween TBR list that I'm going to be doing, just because it's Stephen King and it's like a pretty short read. Yeah, so we'll see about this one. And then I have The Bleeding Earth by Caitlin Ward. So this basically just has like a really unique concept to it, because it's about this girl and her girlfriend who struggle to like basically remain sane as the earth suddenly starts like bleeding. Like the earth itself is the one that's bleeding, and I think that's such like a unique concept. So I'm thinking about this, we'll see. Yeah. And then the last book that I found is the first book in the Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan. Now, many of you know that I'm a huge fan of Rick Riordan, and I read all of the Percy Jackson Olympian series back when those were super popular, but I haven't really kept up with Rick Riordan so much, and this one is the first book of the Kane Chronicles, so I'm kind of interested in picking it up. It's the Red Pyramid, and even includes a bonus short story, The Son of Sobek. I don't really know what that's about, but I think it's really cool because it's like Percy Jackson Olympians followed the Greek gods, but this one follows the Egyptian gods, which is really cool. Well, that was fun. So I got this stuff right here. I think I got, what did I get? I got 4 books. And I actually, when I was leaving, I noticed another book that looked kind of cool. I kind of passed over it because the cover like wasn't super cool, but I was like, oh, this is like an intriguing title. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up and like see what it's about. And I really like the concept of the book, so I went ahead and added it to it. But I didn't end up getting 3 of the books that I had showed you earlier. And you're going to find out later when I get home what's in this bag of books. All right, we're back. And first up in my big bag of books here, I decided on getting The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan. It is the first book in the Kane Chronicles. So as I mentioned in my vlog, I am a huge fan of Rick Riordan. I read all of the Percy Jackson Olympian series back when that was a big thing when I was growing up. And for some reason, I kind of fell off the wagon of reading him. I think for the reason of I didn't want to like keep reading like a new series of following different characters within the same world of like the Olympus. So I kind of lost interest in it, but then I saw this and I saw that it's based off of Egyptian gods instead of the Greek gods, so it's a whole other world, and I was intrigued, so I went ahead and bought it. It is the first book in the Kane Chronicles, and I'm pretty sure that there are 3 books out so far, with however many more, I don't know. But you gotta start somewhere, so I went ahead and bought the first book, The Red Pyramid. The second book in my Barnes & Noble goodie bag is Gwendy's Button Box by Stephen King. It is a short novella by him, and as I mentioned in my vlog, I want to do a kind of Halloween horror-themed TBR list for October, so I needed to get some more horror books, and I saw this by Stephen King, and I thought it was a pretty short read, so I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and give it a try. Next up in my goodie bag of books is Bleeding Earth by Caitlin Ward. I saw this cover and I thought it was really unique. It's a psychological horror novel that basically follows a woman and her girlfriend who are trying to basically stay sane as they're surrounded by this earth that is literally bleeding. So the earth itself is bleeding blood, and I just thought that that was such a unique concept. So I went ahead and picked it up as well, and I'm probably going to read this in October for my Halloween themed horror TBR list. Alright, so I mentioned towards the end of my vlog that I put some stuff back from the list of books that I had compiled over the course of browsing around, and as I was leaving, I noticed a book that didn't totally catch my eye the first time around because the cover itself isn't super crazy or dramatic, but the second time around the title really caught my eye, and that is Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. So I went ahead and picked it up and read the back of it, and basically it's about these 3 queens who are born triplets, and it's like a tradition like that. Every time there's a new queen, they're born as triplets, and when they turn 16 they have to battle each other for the crown, but each of them have their own very unique magical ability. So I went ahead and grabbed it because it sounded really unique and really fun. Yeah, so they basically have to like battle for the crown in a game of life or death. So they're essentially battling their sisters, which is crazy. After I left Barnes & Noble, I went ahead and went to Half Price Books, and they also were having a huge sale for Labor Day weekend, and they were only doing 20% off, but they were doing 20% off of all of their books. I had already gotten 4 books at Barnes & Noble, so I didn't go crazy at Half Price Books, but I did see this on the shelf, and the cover really intrigued me because it just looks really creepy. This girl has like glowing orange eyes. So it's The Dead House by Don Kurtog. I don't know if I'm pronounced Kurtogit. Sorry, I do not know how to pronounce that last name. Don K, let's just say Don K. So it's The Dead House by Don K, who is a fairly recent author. This is actually her debut novel, and honestly, I don't really know a whole lot about it. I read the back of it and it sounded really intriguing, but I really just was sold by the cover and the interior of it, because basically, I'm just going to read this. It combines psychiatric reports, witness testimonials, video footage, and diary entries. And if you look through it, there's all these different kinds of like ways of entering like information. So there's like these diary reports, and then there's the actual storyline going on. And it was just really intriguing. I've never read a book like that before. So I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. So again, this is The Dead House by Don K. Alright, that is going to be the end of this Barnes & Noble book haul that I did for the Barnes & Noble blowout sale. Remember to subscribe to this channel and help support it. It would really mean a lot to me. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you went to the Barnes & Noble blowout sale and what books you bought. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more behind the scenes looks into my life, my own work in progress, Karma's Children Discovery, and to see some cool aesthetically pleasing bookstagram photos. Then go friend me on Goodreads so we can connect on our mutual love of books. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!